Welcome to Shom Machshav on the Daf. We're holding in Chulin Daf Tezvov. The Gemara in Amudal brings that a Rav, he paskin like Rameir, that a mevashel b'Shabbos b'shoigig yoichal. But when he darshan b'pirko, when he said it in public, dorish karab yudo mishum amei Haaretz. So then he set up Psak Halacha a little differently, so that amei Haaretz won't come to be mezalzel on Shabbos. So the Haaretz Chaz points out over here that was the derech to be machmir in the drosha in front of the public, as it clarified in the Gemara in Tainis Daf Chavov. And in the Sefer in Eliyahu Lehel and Daf Beis, he brings a few places where you see this in halacha. One example is the Ramon or Chaim Simin Shin Yud Zayin Seif Gimel, that some allow to cut when you have two shoes that are connected together. If it's kesha sheina shel kayama, tfir sheina shel kayama, some allow to disconnect it. But you can't do it in front of Haaretz. And then we're going to Rome in Chaim Simin Shiyudchet Sim Kotov and Malif says that one can put food in order to heat it up on an oven before the oven is turned on. You should not do a kul in front of Haaretz. And in Yerideh Simin Kuv Chav Dalet Seif Chav Dalet, the Ramah brings that at Bezman Hazeh, when a goy touches wine, we consider it to be Shaloi B'Chavana. So if a guy touched wine without realizing it was wine, it is mutter. Don't say it in front of Haaretz. So we find in several places that we're machmir when we say it in front of Haaretz. And Ayin Shuas Rivosh, in the Agdoma to Simin Shit Saning Dalet, that he writes a very strong Agdoma to somebody who wanted to be makel in something that has to do with Shchita. And with Techet Varim he says, I see that you're saying, the Rivosh tells that what he's saying, writing the Tshuva to. He says the Bizman Hazeh, you say Ein la'alim heter b'shilam Haaretz. You should not hide a heter in front of Haaretz. Like kulam chachomim v'nevoinim v'yoidim es ha'torah. Everybody knows everything. Everybody's milei mitzvos kerimun. Says the Rivosh, what are you talking about? Even in our city, there are people that are not sitting in a sukkah during sukkahs. And then he brings our Gemara and he says we're talking about in Surah, the place of Rav, where there was so many yeshivas. So if there, the Rav is so careful, if not Haaretz, kosher by us. And he brings the Ramban and other Rishonim, the Paskin like Rabbi Yehuda, because of this halacha, the Rav says that we have to be careful in front of Haaretz. So it says the Rivosh, of course we care about Haaretz, and we don't want to be mati something in public. And l'chora, this Indian the Rivosh we're referring to is the Ran in Shabbos that Yud Zayin Udal Vidap Erif, when he's regarding our sugya, that he writes the Rav Gufi Kidosh Rapir Kadosh Rabbi Yehuda, Rav himself paskin to the public b'Rav Yehuda, Mishum Amei Haaretz, ve'anan hashchicha Amei Haaretz. Come on, we have Amei Haaretz. Chimpas like a Rambam. So it says the Ran, because of the Amei Haaretz, you have to be machmir. But interesting enough, the Vilna Gaon in Chaim Simin Shiyud Ches, in the end of Ois Aleph, a very, very long piece. But he ends there and says that we paskin lekula in our sugya. And he sends us to Toises and Beitzo, Davov Mudalev, Dir B'Ramatchil V'Ahidro. The Dir Tois discusses, if you have someone who died in Yom Tov Sheni, can you allow Jews to go and bury him? So Rabbi Nutam says, you should not do that, because it brings Bnei Bashchar, Einu Bnei Toiro. So you have to be careful from the Amei Haaretz, so people won't come to be Mezalzel Yom Tov Sheni. Comes the Ri and Tois and says, the Ein Zen Dimyon. In other words, we're not choshesh to this. And he brings an example to it regarding the idea of turmus shakli noichim, some food that was cooked by a goyim, that we don't matir because of Amei Haaretz. By us, we do matir it. So he explains the Vilna Gaon, the Hanan Chashivi Bnei Torah v'Rayim Bishul Yaakov, that's the Raya of Taisis. So it comes out that the Machlokes, the Chura. So it comes out that this Inyan, this discussion, do we treat it, are we choshesh today to the Amei Haaretz or not, is the Chura, the Machlokes between the Ran and the Bira Go. The Machlokes halacha l'maaseh, do we paskin like our Mary, paskin like our Yehuda. V'tzich liyashiv, all the places that we find in Shulchan Aruch and the Ramah that we mentioned, that says there that you are choshesh to Amei Haaretz. How will the Vilna Gaon explain that? Anyone who wants to join and sponsor the Shom Machshava Shiurim, please email shomachshava@gmail.com.